Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Marveling in the Madness Reacts. So, today we have myself, as always, and we have Dominic Tor in the building. Bam, 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 bam. What's going on?
Oh, what, mate? You seem to be quite hyperactive today. How about yourself?
Yeah, I heard a few sweets. Anyway, let's move right on. Right, so we're going to react to this video. Top terrifying inhabitable places on Earth that people actually live. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
The hottest areas in the world, all the way to some of the coldest, with a lake
Number
that
one,
sits
my
in a
brain.
volcanic crater in between. These places are absolutely astonishing. Here are the top 10 terrifying uninhabitable places on Earth where people actually live. Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have Alert. Just wanted to say Alert. Alert is a small settlement located on the northern tip of Ellesmere Island in Nunavut, Canada. It is considered one of the northernmost settlements in the world and is also one of the most inhospitable environments on the planet. The area is characterized by extremely low temperatures, harsh winds, and long periods of darkness during the winter months. Despite these challenges, people still live in Alert. The settlement was established in 1950 as a weather station and military outpost during the Cold War. Since then, it has remained an important monitoring station for climate change and military activities in the Arctic region. The population of Alert fluctuates depending on the season, but there are typically around 50 people who live and work there. The residents are mostly military personnel, scientists, and support staff who work at the station. They face numerous challenges, such as limited supplies, extreme isolation, and the constant threat of polar bear encounters. Despite these challenges, the people who live in Alert are proud of their
levels of brown fat is fine.
work that they do. They have developed a strong sense of camaraderie and that is necessary for survival in such an extreme environment. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Danakil Depression. We are going from one extreme to the other. The Danakil Depression is a part of the Afar Triangle in Ethiopia and is a geological depression that came about as a result of Africa and Asia moving apart. The divergence of 3 tectonic plates caused rifting and volcanic activity. This place is the hottest place on Earth in terms of average year-round temperatures, and it is also one of the lowest places on Earth at 100 meters below sea level. There are active volcanoes in the area, there are salt springs, sulfur springs, and it only gets about 4 to 8 inches of rain every year. What I'm saying is that this place is stunning and has an incredibly rich geological history, but it also fully looks like it could be from another planet. This otherworldly landscape and quite inhospitable environment is the home to the Afar people. Somehow they have overcome the odds and the obstacles and managed to thrive in this extreme environment, and it is said that this was made possible over the centuries by their ability to adapt to need less food and water than other humans. Honestly, it's one of the most
I've ever
heard. The Danakil Depression is a popular destination for adventurous travelers who are seeking an experience that is truly out of this world. Visitors can explore the area on foot or by camel, taking in the breathtaking views of the alien-like landscape. Despite the harsh conditions, the area
I was literally just thinking that, like, you get another day.
But have also adapted to this very unique environment. In our number 8 spot today, we have Kabwe. Located in Zambia, this place has been described as the world's most toxic town. The toxins in this town are due to the previous century of mining and smelting, which led to generations being exposed to unbelievable amounts of toxins and a mass lead poisoning. The plants closed in 1994, but at that point, the damage had already been done. The population of 220,000 people that still live here are still exposed to lead in the dust and soil that is 10 times the US safety limit, but they stay out of necessity. At this point in time, the World Bank is now conducting a $65 million remediation project, and while that is great news, unfortunately, nothing can be done for all of the people who had to deal with this for the last century and a half. In our number 7 spot today, we have Omeokon. This place is located in Russia, and if you've heard of it before, there's a chance it might be because it is known as the coldest inhabited place on Earth. This town has a population of around 500 residents who live in an average temperature of around -40 degrees Celsius, although in the summertime the temperature does get to around 0. The ground is covered in permafrost, which of course makes growing crops an impossibility, so the main source of food is meat and fish. Due to the temperature here, living of course has to look a little different. It's too plumbing pipes, so restaurants
need a freezer,
engines freeze
sounds like
few
you're
cars
mainly
are
going to eat
usually running
fish, which is
continuously.
not worse
During
in
the
the world.
shortest days, the residents live in
No
darkness for
vegetables, though.
21 hours a day. Getting to this small town can take
Amazing.
you quite some time as well.
21
If you're
hours a
coming
day
from
in
Moscow,
darkness.
I don't know why you would be. If you're coming from Moscow, you'll have to take a flight to one of the closest towns, which are both still over 900 kilometers away. The road from these cities that leads to the town is called the Road of Bones, which is extremely ominous sounding and probably a road that should not be traveled alone, just in case. In our number 6
Just
spot
don't
today,
travel
we
there.
have
Just
Salar
don't live
de
there.
Uyuni. Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat, located in the southwest of Bolivia, near the crest of the Andes. The area spans over 10,000 square kilometers and is characterized by a stunning, otherworldly landscape. This peculiar place was formed by the evaporation
Looks
of a
cool, though.
prehistoric lake, leaving
Nice.
behind a thick layer of salt crust that stretches as far as the eye can see. During the rainy season, the salt flat becomes a giant
It's like the
mirror,
afterlife of the
reflecting the sky
Avengers.
and clouds
What's
in
that?
a
You
breathtaking
know, that's like the Avengers where they
truly
get into that afterlife
unbelievable. It
scene.
looks completely fake and is somehow very real. The unique terrain and climate of the area has also given rise to many unusual natural
Oh, I don't know
formations.
sheets
The
today.
flat is dotted
Lol.
with small islands of rock and gigantic cacti, which serves as a haven for a variety of animal species. Yeah, I said giant cacti. While this place is mostly devoid of life, plant, or animal, that is saved for these cacti that can grow to be 12 meters or 39 feet tall. The area is also home to many active
These should be
geysers and
well
hot
hydrated.
springs, as well as colorful lakes that are filled with flamingos during certain times of year. In fact, in November, this place becomes a feeding ground for 3 South American species of flamingo.
feel like
I
you
don't
need-
even know how true that actually is.
Shrimps. These are the
I feel like you
Chilean,
need,
Andean, and rare James
all your food would be a
flamingos.
bit too
Aside from
salty,
its
wouldn't it?
natural wonders, this
You just
place
get
is
salt
also
and
rich in
everything.
cultural history. This area
Imagine how
has
dry
been
skin would be.
inhabited by the indigenous Aymara people for thousands
Already
of years,
drowned
and
out,
they have
didn't need that
maintained
much
their
help.
traditional way of life and culture to this day. In our number 5 spot today, we have Itork.
Does anyone actually live
This
there?
town
'Cause
is
she didn't say
located
anyone
in
actually
one of
lived
the
there.
most
You didn't say
remote
anyone actually
areas
lived
of
there, so-
Greenland, and actually
I
requires
thought this
a
was about
helicopter
people where
ride
people
from
lived.
the nearest
well.
airport in order to actually get to the town. It
lied.
was founded
You
quite
need an extra one
recently,
for the list.
actually, in 1925 by a Danish polar explorer and around 80 Inuit settlers, and it is about as far as you can get from any other inhabited area in Greenland. Despite this recent settling based on ruins and other archaeological remains, it became clear that this area was once inhabited sometime in our history by Inuit populations of the past. There's
Go
around
Inuits.
450 residents, and the town
Smashing
is
it.
known for its wildlife that includes polar bears, musk oxen, and seals. This place can be
They're
a
cool
popular
looking.
tourist
Meat, then.
destination because of
You
the
good.
stunning northern lights, as well as other natural wonders. Cruise ships also love to stop here, but that can be a little tricky considering 9 months out of the year, sea ice will block any ship from docking. In our number 4 spot today, we have La
sea ice.
Rinconada. This
Still-
town is
still don't really
located
like
near
it
the
out there then,
Peruvian
'cause there's
Andes,
many-
very close to a gold mine. It's actually the highest permanent settlement in the world at 5,100 meters above sea level. Between 2001 and 2009, the population of this town increased greatly because the price of gold rose 235% during that time. Because of the elevation, the town has an alpine tundra climate and an average temperature of around 1 degree Celsius. The city has no running water or
terrible.
sewage, and the population of people who live here are working themselves to the bone in extremely dangerous mercury-filled mines. They're also working under some pretty horrible conditions where they work 25 days of the month for no pay, and then 5 days of the month they can work for themselves, and they are allowed to take as much ore as they can carry on their shoulders. There's no guarantee that the ore will have any gold in it, however. And this terrible system is why many of the town's residents live in poverty. The town is a 6-hour bus ride
Really?
from the nearest city on unpaved roads.
Never saw
There
that
isn't
coming.
really a regular bus system, which makes it a fairly difficult place to get to. In our number
Unbelievable.
3 spot today, we have Lake Nyos. Lake Nyos is located in Cameroon, and it is different from any regular old lake because of the volcanic crater that it sits in. The magma floor releases carbon dioxide into both the water and the surrounding air, making it a less
Healthy.
than ideal place to live and breathe.
suppose-
Usually the CO2 just dissipates into the air, mostly harmlessly, but in
The water would be nice and
1986 there
fizzy.
was a limnic eruption that caused catastrophe. A limnic eruption is very rare, but it's what happens when dissolved carbon dioxide suddenly erupts from lake waters, which then goes on to form a gas cloud. The resulting gas cloud is extremely dangerous. It is capable of displacing the oxygen in the area, which of course is lethal to any living thing in the area, which is exactly what happened in
Looks really green,
1986. This limnic eruption caused a noxious cloud of more than 1 million tons of CO2. This ended up taking the lives of the 1,700 people in the area, as well as the 3,500 livestock, which made it the first known large-scale asphyxiation caused by a natural event. Despite the threat of another eruption, as well as the lake's weakening walls that could result in a massive flood, people have resettled the area around the lake. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't risk it, which makes me wonder why these people chose here. I'm sure there's gotta be a reason. In our number 2 spot today, we have La Oroya. Located in Peru, this town has a population of 30,000 people, despite the metal smelter contamination that has been seen since 1922. The smelter closed in 2009 after the company that ran it declared bankruptcy, and here's how that happened in the first place. The American-owned company ran out of money because they had to fund the environmental cleanup and the anti-pollution measures. Seems like maybe they should have chosen a different path. Seems like it didn't pay off to pollute someone else's air. I guess that they forgot that there's consequences for actions. It still remains as one of the most polluted areas in the entire world, and the toxic metals have gone on to the
angry.
oil in the air. While it is completely unsafe to live there, people still do, and sadly, they suffer the extreme adverse effects of it. In our number 1 spot today, we have Zabul. The city is located in Iran, and it is an absolute hotspot for dust storms. The summer season is where the worst of it is seen, with what is known as the, quote, 120-day winds. This is when dust and other matter absolutely bombards the city, which is due to the disappearance of the wetlands, as well as the extremely high temperatures seen in the region. These dust storms aren't just inconvenient, they're actually very dangerous for those who live in the area. So much so that every year officials hand out thousands of air pollution masks to help prevent the damage that these storms can cause to the lungs. In 2016, the city was named as the most polluted city in the world by the World Health Organization, and a study in 2017 even found that the damage from breathing this air for 30 minutes outweighs the benefit of 30 minutes of cycling, meaning it is exceptionally detrimental. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We have been Marbling in the Madness. See ya.
Till next time.
Cut.